our next speaker, Anna Van Gorder, or as I like to call her, AVG, for obvious reasons. Anna is the Head of Engagement and Diversity at Australia Post. Anna is a passionate leader with over 20 years of human resources experience in both strategic and operational HR. Her specialist area of expertise is transformational change, translating strategy into practical business and people initiatives. Anna's been with Australia Post for 14 years and has held a variety of frontline roles across all parts of our business. And most recently it's been around the transformational area, partnering with the business to design programs and initiatives for our frontline that drive sustainable change, as well as delivering commercial outcomes for the business. So Anna will talk about a number of her initiatives, but probably the main one will be the Women in Transport initiative that she'll share with us. Anna believes strongly in the importance of people engagement and inclusive values-driven culture to bring about substantive change. And I should point out, in recognition of everything that Anna's achieved, the role that I announced, which is in there, Head of Engagement and Diversity, is actually a brand new role. Anna was actually appointed to that role on Monday of this week, so she's actually just been promoted. How fantastic is that? So you've heard me mention about walking the talk, so I build people up and then make sure that they don't disappoint, and Anna will not disappoint, because I'm going to share 3 words about Anna that I personally would share. Anna's infectious, she's inspirational, and she's incredible. So come up and speak to us, Anna, and share your story.
Pretty embarrassing coming up after that. I am an extrovert, so I do bounce off the walls, and I'm excited. And I'm excited this morning. It's so fantastic that all of you are here in Australia Post in this fantastic facility. I'm not going to talk about the great stats about Australia Post, what we're doing in leadership. I'm going to talk today about the journey that we've been going on in building our front line. And I guess there's a lot of people here today around building the numbers of drivers, building the numbers in line haul, building the numbers of vans and posties, and people that deliver for our customers every day. It's just the start of a journey, and we've got a lot to learn, but we're trying to build up our female numbers. And you're all here today, so I'm going to corral you all to help us and keep us going on our journey. Okay, just a bit of an insight of where we are today at the moment. So for our operational workforce, so that's not leaders or managers or admin or retail or anyone in a post shop, people that actually operate with our mail and parcels, women are nearly 36% of our population. Obviously we want to grow that. Of that 36%, 39.4% are part-time. So that's quite an okay start. I'm quite comfortable with that. We're still working on that. Of that percentage, 50% of those women are over 50. And when they're over 50, and when they come with us, they stay for about 12 years. So what that really says is, the insights from that are, when people come, they stay, and they love their job, but we're not attracting enough to come and stay and love their job. So we had to challenge ourselves. We had to challenge ourselves to say, why don't people want to come and work for us? We love working here. We're all happy. We're doing our job. How can we get into the market? How can we talk to the market about our people and our women in the front line that are working with our customers? So we took a step back and thought, well, the newspaper ads aren't working, the Seek ads aren't working, all the associations aren't working. We need to think about something different. We need to talk about our women and what they do day to day. So we interviewed a lot of women, and we developed 5 authentic stories from different women across the business, which I'll share with you today. Danielle, truck driver, Melbourne Transport. Mina and Emily and Sue all work in Victorian business hubs, and some of you here today. And Leanne worked in our Annandale Road Star Track facility just around the corner. And we spent a bit of time with them and videoed them, and then we use those stories a little bit differently. So instead of putting ads out on them, we put the videos on social media. But we didn't just put them out on social media, we hunted them down. We went to every customer, and we saw where those female customers were spending, and we advertised on those sites. So we actually got a fantastic response from doing it that way. So we use Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, and we shared those stories on those social websites. But instead of asking them to apply for a job, we asked the individuals, the women, to express their interest in the role. We found that when you put an ad up for a truck driver, unless you really, essentially want to be a truck driver, people nodding their heads, you're not going to apply for the role. You feel like you don't have the skills, you don't know what the environment's going to be like, you don't know where the facilities are. So instead of doing that, we just asked them to ring us, to express their interest, to press enter, and put their name down, and then we would call them. And then when we called them, we said, we're in most towns and countries of Australia, we have these types of roles, what are you interested in? And we had some interesting responses, and we ended up having 1,100 expressions of those, of people wanting to come and work for us. I'm just going to spend a bit of time. I'm going to show you a video of these 5 women. This is a mashup video, which is the 5 women all together. But when we used it on social media, we had 5 separate stories.
One of the things that surprised me is when I've come to a new customer and they'll say something like, "Oh, I've got a woman postie today." And I think, "Oh, I didn't realise there wasn't that many women posties or women in this role," and because it's a great role to play. It's lots of moving and lifting, but it's not something beyond my capabilities and never has been. I've never felt unable to fulfil the role, but I feel like at the end of the day I come home and I don't need to go to a gym.
The concern that you are a woman in this industry and you don't have that hassle, and actually the boys have actually said to me they like getting into a truck after I've been in the truck because it smells good. So that's, I think, a positive.
People look after people. I feel we become a bit of a family because we've been together for quite a while, so I think that's good in a workplace. If somebody needs help, I'll ask them, and helping hand's good. More hands the better. And also it's safer as well too, of course.
I had my manager actually help me and take me under his wing, so I became a supervisor. It is a big part of the culture. It's so good because we have so many different cultures, personalities here, that you can have a joke with them and have fun while you're working.
We're really good at communicating with each other and looking out for each other. Favourite part is just coming in, talking to everyone that you work with and developing those relationships too, and having a joke, and then getting out onto the road and still enjoying the driving experience as well. I'm Leanne and I'm a run truck driver.
My name's Susan Butler. I'm a transport driver part-time.
My name's Emily Walter and I'm a parcel transport officer.
My name's Minna Litzes. I'm a postal transport officer.
My name's Danielle and I drive trucks.
I still get emotional when I watch that video. So we launched those videos on social media, and we were shocked by how much people really wanted to see them. They kept downloading them. We had 1.5 million hits, which is in social media talk, that's really good. In the time that we launched it was an 8-week program. We had 50% more female applications. Like I said, we had 1,100 expressions of interest. I had too many women and not enough jobs. So I think I rang Shane at one point and said, "Do you need any more drivers?" So we had lots of enthusiasm, and we had some really good feedback. And the feedback was that we really want to come and work for you, but we don't have a truck license. Some of them don't have a car license, and we want to work in particular locations. So we then worked and developed programs behind that in order to train females in trucks and in vans, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. I'll also talk about a partnership that we're developing with Lean Fox at the moment. But if you think about, we've got all these 1,100 people expressing their interest. They want to come and work for us. How are we going to support them? I think it's probably even more important. I think we know ourselves about supporting people in the workplace and what the benefits that has. So we developed 40 diversity ambassadors across Australia, and you're all here, you're all going to be diversity ambassadors for me after this, so I'll be getting your names and addresses. So these women, fantastic women, were supporting the women as they were coming into the facility. Places like Melbourne Transport and Sydney Transport, where we really needed our ambassadors, and they were to work alongside and support them, not the buddies, not in the trucks, but supporting them around the workplace and being their friend, essentially. They also worked with the HR people and the comms people and the safety people to develop focus groups in each facility about what changes we could put into the facility to make it more comfortable for the women that we're bringing through. So we, looked into female amenities. Some of us all know, and we were just talking about a story in one of the DCs where we don't have toilets, so you have to walk across to the next facility to go to the toilet. Female uniforms is always a hot topic, and refreshing our EEO and bullying harassment training. We also looked at family-friendly rosters. So could we have an overflow truck driver from 10 to 2 rather than doing 11, 12-hour shifts that some of the staff track sites have? And we also looked at some development opportunities for some female supervisors. So we're doing all of this at the same time as we're running our campaign, so we ensured a smooth transition for some of our applicants. As I said before, that we found a lot of women that said that, gave us the feedback that they wanted to work for us but they didn't have a licence. Now, Australia Post does train people in driving trucks. We hadn't really trained a lot of external people in driving trucks, but we developed 2 pilots, one in Star Trek and one in Australia Post, where it was an 8-week program of taking women through from a car licence to a truck licence and then supporting them to land those licences. So that was a really successful part of our campaign. That started our interest in thinking about what else we could do in the marketplace to train truck drivers. And we do currently train truck drivers coming from, if you're a postie or if you're a van driver and you don't want to be a truck driver, there are some internal pathways, but there isn't a lot of success in our external pathways. That's what we've been developing. And this came to Lynn Fox. Is anyone here from Lynn Fox today? Oh, thanks guys for coming. We've just started a partnership with Lynn Fox, or we started about 6 months ago, where in collaboration with Lynn Fox and Volvo and ourselves and TAFE, we have developed a program, TAFE has developed a program, and we've been in the employees and supporting them to train people off the street to be truck drivers, female specific. So we advertised across Australia, and Lynn Fox hired 4 and we hired 4, and we went in partnership with TAFE in Victoria to train women to get their licence, but also heavy rigid, and also to get the certificate 3 in transport operations. So quite a sizable ask for the individual. And we also coupled it with quite an intensive induction, forklift and buddy system to support those women. The partnership's been successful. We've each had 4. I think we now have 3 remaining at Melbourne Transport. But the collaboration on the ground with Lynn Fox and the collaboration with Volvo and TAFE has been fantastic. And maybe some of the Lynn Fox people can talk about it, but that's been really, really interesting piece of work. And we have a new cohort starting in March with another 4. So we're going back to the media, back to social media, and we'll try and attract 4 women off the street who want to be truck drivers for Australia Post. What have we learnt from all of this? It's been rocky, and some of the managers in here know some of those stories. But when you go to market for female roles, what we've found is you really need, the experience has to have a female lens, meaning you have to have colours, language, advertising, everything has to appeal to a woman. Now if you think about when you're buying something at home on the internet, you usually go to sites where A, it's efficient, but B, you feel comfortable about what they're buying and what they're talking about. Well, it's the same in employment. The experience of when the woman first walks into the facility or first walks into being in an interview situation, That's crucial. You have to, the job suitability, the person really wants to want to come and work for a transport company, and that's essentially what we are in these jobs. Our training induction needed a whole rethink, because when you train to be a truck driver or a van driver, it's, this is your training, this is what you need to do, you need to tick all the boxes, and then you're on the road. Well, what if I need a bit longer? What if I need a buddy? What if I need some more support? What if I have more questions? What if I need 2 extra weeks? So we had to implement that, and we're still working on that. Having a buddy and an ambassador is just the most important thing you can do in terms of having that support when you come into the facility. So they must be in place. You have to have leaders at all levels, not only the supervisor, the facility manager, the state manager, the general managers to the top have to be supportive of the program, and they all have to want to be in it. So that's probably one of the most important things. Overall, in the last couple of years, we have increased our frontline numbers, but we've got a lot of work to do, and we're learning every day, and we want to try new things. So that's why partnerships with Linfox is great. Trying new recruitment methods, changing our training, changing our induction, and getting feedback from all of you of how it's working and what else we can be doing to recruit women into Australia Post. Right, so attrition, it's 1.5% more than it normally would be for a male applying for a role. And the learnings, if I go back to the learnings, I think that the day in the life is really important. So before you're applying for a job, that we ask you to come in and work in the facility for a day, walk around, meet people, get in a truck, get in a van, jump out of one, meet other women. I think that's really important. And then you can decide if you really want to go ahead to the next step. And we've learned that. So that's why it's probably a little bit higher. And yeah, so I'm trying to bring the attrition down by introducing better things to get people more, see if they're suitable to work with us. Well, they want to work for us. We want them. Good question. We are. So there's 2 ways. This is particularly around truck driving. Yeah. So we have what we call internal pathways. So we had 12 graduates last year that expressed their interest to be a truck driver, and Danielle, if I go back, was actually a postie. So Danielle on the top left was actually a postie. So she applied to be part of our internal pathways and was trained. And we put out expressions of each year, and maybe they haven't, we probably need to do a better job of that. We put out expressions of interest, particularly into the van network, to see if anyone wants to be a truck driver. Yes. In terms of female opportunities to change jobs, Post People First is where we advertise all our roles. Inside Post People First, there's 4 career counsellors, and those career counsellors you can contact and talk to them about where you want to go in the company, any ideas, and they'll support you, maybe with resumes, interviews, training, and they're a great resource. But yes, we do. We're trying to do a lot for our internal people, but we need to do more. Yeah, look, I tend to agree. I think that there needs to be pathways for men as well. We need to build the industry. We're under huge supply problems. I think all of the transport companies go to market a lot, and we're not recruiting enough. You can talk to Dave Hummel here, who leads our transport, and he will tell you that he's out in the market all the time trying to recruit drivers. We need to change it up. We need to say, I don't want to recruit a driver. I want to recruit someone who wants to be a truck driver, and we'll train them. So we need to create the pathways for men, and we probably need to go to market with a similar strategy. We've had the same feedback internally around, well, you're training women, why aren't you training, I want to be a truck driver, I'm happy to do it. So we need to develop those internal pathways, and definitely also externally go to market and train men. So I tend to agree. So, first of all, people when they're trained, inducted and employed by Australia Post, they meet the same inherent requirements as men. So there's no difference. So when, our truck drivers and our van drivers and everyone meets the same safety requirements and licensing requirements, so they have a right to be there. I think that the only real backlash we've had is when men say, I want the same opportunities, I want to be trained and paid to go to training at TAFE and go through the same pathways. So our response is, great, do you want to train as a truck driver? And that's what we're trying to develop. I think there's a little, I can't comment on what men feel, but I know that in the two transport depots, they're quite welcoming. They want women in to work with them. They want the balanced team. They see the benefits of having a woman in a diverse team servicing our customers. So, good question. Yes, a range, depending on what category. I could talk extensively about it, but we've got really strong programs in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander pipelines, and what we're doing there is we're developing leaders. So instead of going to market, we're actually developing our own internal Aboriginal and Indigenous people and supporting them to be leaders, which will then role model and hopefully attract further people. Culturally, I guess other diversity categories, we have similar programs. So maybe I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but there's lots of information, so I can maybe take it offline and talk to you about all the different programs, but there's a lot. Yeah.
All good?
Thanks for having me. I hope I didn't talk too long now.